Hi, lovelies, welcome back. I know it's weird to see me in the dark after sundown, but it is dark here, even though it is still Friday afternoon, and that's winter for you. So, today I wanted to share something that I saw recently and just how helpful it is to really see how ordinary and everyday and obvious insights can be. Because sometimes we have a tendency to think that insights have to be these big, grand things, like, oh, an insight is going to be something that's so revolutionary and so new and so different and so big and so life changing. And then we sit around being like, well, why haven't I had any insights? Where are my insights? What's going on? Is the system broken? What's up? And I really saw yesterday that insights can be so simple and so ordinary and so everyday. And, it's just really like once we see it, we're like, I can't believe I didn't see that sooner. And so yesterday, I was having one of those bad days. Everybody has them, where couldn't catch a break, nothing was going my way. I was in such a low mood. Everything looked really outside in. Everything looked so difficult. I was stressed, I was agitated, I was frustrated, I was angry, I was anxious. I was just like, when is this day going to be over? And, after I dealt with all the things that I had to deal with yesterday, I got home last night and decided, it would be lovely having a bubble bath. That would be lovely. So I, lit some candles and made a cup of tea. I, did a bath bomb, all of those kind of lovely things to kind of, de-stress me, which I have that in air quotes because a bubble bath doesn't have those powers. But, I basically was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of, make this really kind of beautiful, lovely, relaxing bath. And I'm just going to let my day kind of float away and feel better. And I'm sitting in the bath with lovely music playing, lovely candles, soft, glowy lights, my favorite tea, all of these things. And I was just ruminating and obsessing and constantly thinking about how frustrating and stressful and unfair and just, just shitty my day was. And the insight came in, and this is what I mean by insight. It's really, 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 insight is just fresh thought. That's all. And a fresh thought came in, a different thing occurred to me. And what occurred to me was, just because you had a shitty afternoon doesn't mean you have to have a shitty night. Which, sounds so obvious when I say it. It's like, really? That was my big insight? But as I was sitting there just kind of ruminating and thinking about my thinking and just really getting into, oh, this is so unfair, this is so unjustified, I can't believe the stuff I had to do today, so ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, right. Just because you had a bad afternoon does not mean you have to have a bad night. That's not how it works. And suddenly I realized that all of those, there was just momentum that wanted me to be in the moment. It wanted me to be smelling the candles and feeling the temperature of the water and enjoying the tea and just being in my natural state, just being. My natural state is just being, human being. Just wanted me to be, just wanted me to be in that moment. And yet I was so caught up that I was like pulling. It was almost like there were little balloons, like an anger balloon would float by, and I'd be like, whoa, 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 I'm not done thinking you. And then a frustration balloon would go by, and I'd be like, no, 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 come back here. Let me think about you some more. Let me analyze you. And it was like I was pulling balloons of frustration and anger and poor me and just all of these things, just kind of pulling them down from my experience and into, oh yeah, let me really think this. Until I had the new thought, until I had the insight, just because you had a shitty afternoon doesn't mean you have to have a shitty night. And suddenly I saw what I was doing. I saw that I was innocently, so innocently, basically thinking about stuff I don't need to think about. Thinking about the past, thinking about my afternoon, thinking about how things, people, structures, policies should be different, blah, blah, blah. when I could just be in the moment I was in, with the tea, with the candles, with the warm water, with the music, with all of those things that were just beautiful and perfect in that moment. And yet I wanted to leave that moment and think about, really get into the story I was telling myself about my awful afternoon. And knowing that that's kind of how insights work, is that they're just a new thought that basically says, hey, you don't gotta keep doing things the way you're doing it. Or hey, just because, you felt really angry this afternoon, you were really frustrated an hour ago, doesn't mean you have to sit here thinking into your frustration. You don't have to do that. It's so freeing to know that we don't have to get rid of thoughts, but we also don't need to keep holding on to them and thinking them and really buying into their story, which is what I was doing. I was sitting there in this lovely bath, buying into the story of how unfair all of the things that were stacked against me that day, and how difficult it was, and how stressful it was, and how unjustified it was, when I could just be in the moment, in my true nature, in my default setting, in what we all have beneath all of the noise of our stories. And that's how simple and ordinary insight can be. It's sometimes so simple and ordinary that when you say it, like on a video like this, I realize that because I had a shitty day doesn't mean I have to have a shitty night. Yeah, no shit. Like, everybody knows that. But that's the beauty of insight, is it's just something that's so kind of natural and obvious, coming into our consciousness, coming into awareness, giving us something new, giving us different perspective. That's it. And so often, people stress about, well, I don't have any big insights, or I don't have these kind of life-changing epiphanies and these big ahas. And it sometimes doesn't show up like that. It shows up in so many forms. And sometimes it's just, you can just sit here and enjoy your bath now. You can just have a normal night. You can just be in the moment. You don't have to sit here and replay the story and the drama of the day. And knowing that insights are always going to be there for us, knowing that they're going to take in any form, any and every form. They're not something that we have to judge. They're not something we have to seek. They're not something we have to figure out. There's not it's just that we're gifted with new thinking, and that takes care of the rest and does all the heavy lifting for us. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. I will be back with you guys next week, hopefully earlier in the day, so that it's not quite so dark. But thank you for being here with me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will be happy to get back to you guys. And I will see you soon. So take care. Have a lovely weekend.